For me, I started my career as an interior designer. So I worked in Sydney previously, doing interior design and furniture. And later on, that's when I studied architecture, and that's how we met as well. We met in Holland, and both of us worked in London before we started our own studio.
And then after we had Zoe, our first child, we decided to start our own practice and
Quit our jobs.
quit our jobs and took a leap. And
Everyone thought we were crazy. We were asked to design a house for one of my aunts in Jakarta. So that was our first project in Jakarta, and we did that going back and forth before we really based ourselves in Jakarta.
yeah, so we weren't sure we wanted to have our office in Jakarta in the first place. We wanted to have our own office, and then it just so happened that work came from Jakarta, and bit by bit we drifted here and decided to, base ourselves in Jakarta.
We recognize each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I think we found the balance to use that to complement each other.
We learned how to work together and trust each other, and of course we try to separate work and private life to some extent. Sometimes we manage, sometimes we don't. Like very often in the evenings as well, after work we still talk about work.
I remember we got a job while both of us were working in different companies, and we would work on that project on the weekends together.
Yeah, we did a competition as well, and I mean we met each other at uni, so we sort of knew each other. We knew what kind of design we like, and we knew that we were on the same page, and we'd get along and complement each other. It's not so much us choosing projects, it's projects choosing us, I think. There are some which we don't take or don't want to do because we're not on the same page with the client. That's one Indonesian thing though. Here, many clients expect an architect to work in a variety of styles. Some people come to an architect and ask them to do an American classic home or a minimalist home, and there are architects who are able to do very different types of architecture in stylistic terms, but that's not us. We can't. So I think that's the main selection criteria. So very often when somebody approaches us, we bounce ideas first. We send reference images which we think would be relevant to what the client wants, and we ask them what they would like. We ask them to send us stuff or show us stuff that they like, and then from that you get a feel about whether you're compatible or not. I have this innate desire to do something good, to be useful, really. And since I'm an architect, that's how I can be of use, designing buildings. So like that need is sort of satisfied by work. And I take lots of pleasure out of it when we finish a project and you see the client being happy with it. It gives you a great amount of satisfaction, and that kind of pushes you on to the next one.
I think it's as simple as just everyday observations, things that I experienced and maybe I was moved, and we want to create the same effect, you know, in a space or from a piece of furniture. Or it could be as simple as, you know, I have a need for a certain thing and I need to do it, you know, to design it and things like that. And also, I guess like like the same with what Laszlo said, it's the feeling of seeing how people use your space. It's just it's a great feeling. With project that we recently finished last month, it was like a pavilion for the Jakarta literary festival. It was really nice. I remember spending days just seeing the pavilion from above and just see how it gets used, you know, and talking to people how they feel about the space without them knowing that we design it. It's a great feeling.
Like all our architecture books that we have, we keep it in our office, not at home.
Yes.
And one of the reasons
Work-life balance.
one of the reasons is that work-life balance. So at home it's less architecture, it's more our private life.
I think we would like to allocate more time for furniture. Not stopping architecture or interior, nothing like that, but really allocate more time.
I really would like to design a permanent public building.
Yes.
The one, at least, here in Indonesia. I'm hoping that one day we can do a permanent one as well. It would be great to design a gallery or
And it seems like there's a potential one, but we don't know yet.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.